Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. It's amazing how much better someone's mood can be when they're 100% and finally feeling better. The sun is shining, and I think that it has never looked better than when you are feeling better. Tremendous is a word I like to use not too often, because I don't normally feel tremendous all the time. But I can say today that I feel tremendous. I have a cup of coffee. It tastes even better when you're feeling better. Like I said, nothing really makes you mad. Nothing really makes me mad more than not feeling good. It's not a good feeling. But today, on this recording day, I could not feel any better. Like I feel right now, I feel perfect. I have never felt better in my entire life than right now. And not just because my medical health is better, but my physical health hasn't been this good in a long, long time. I mentioned on this podcast like maybe a few months ago. I've been in the process of working out and exercising pretty much every single day. I take a couple of days off, every week, but, that's about it. But pretty much every single day, I work out. And I work out pretty hard. And I think I gave you guys an update on how much I weighed a few times. I can't remember at what point or what episode I updated you guys on my weight, but as of today, March 21st, 2024, I currently weigh 209 pounds. Now, that's not where I want to be. Of course not. I still feel like I have a ways to go before I get to what I want to be, which is like around 185, 190, if that's even possible. I think it can be, but I weigh 209 right now. I've lost 26 pounds since I started exercising, which was on April 23rd, 2023. That's when I began my journey. That's when I said, enough's enough. I don't feel good. I don't think I look good. It's kind of embarrassing. Clothes, I don't really have any nice looking clothes. I don't feel good in these clothes. I don't look good. Period. And I was just like, you know what? I've had enough. It's time for a change. So I decided, you know what? Time to exercise. Time to eat better. Time to do all that stuff and just kind of, put my head down and just go. Because, no one's going to do it for you. And you're not just miraculously going to look skinnier or look more fit by just doing nothing. That's not how it works. That will never happen. And there was always like this point in my life where I feel like I would want to exercise. I feel like that it was a possibility. But also I feel like if I just ate less food and not work out, I would be okay. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the best way to live a life. Now, of course, I eat better. Yes, I do eat better. But I'm not going through the day always counting what I've eaten. Yeah, I kind of make sure I don't eat as much as I used to back when I was very heavy. But I don't have the feeling of like, oh, I gotta make sure like I only eat like a graham cracker and an almond a day and that's it. Nothing else. Because I feel like when people, and I used to do this, when I would do my, this is back when COVID was a thing, I would try to do this all fiber diet. Everything I ate had so much fiber in it, and it would kind of clean me out, wash me out. and I didn't exercise at all. And doing that is kind of miserable, you know, not only because you're relying on whatever you eat to make yourself lose weight, it's almost like counterproductive in a way, because you're trying to eat as much fiber as you can of how much they want you to eat. And meanwhile, you're not burning any calories. It's a weird feeling. It feels like you're kind of like just shoveling more food down your gullet and not burning it off in any way. And it kind of feels like you're, like I said, being counterproductive and just kind of gaining weight instead of trying to lose weight with just eating better, like a high fiber diet, which is what I was doing. I don't know why we did it in the first place. I feel like it might have been just like something that was like, I don't know, online or something that somebody saw and was like, hey, why don't we try this? And we tried it, and it was just like kind of miserable. It's only when you add exercising and eating better where it kind of feels like you're actually doing your body a good service, because exercising burns calories, right? That's a fact. You know, it's going to increase your heart rate. You're going to burn calories. You're going to burn fat. You're going to lose weight that way. But it also is like one of the best ways to energize you, period. Like, there is a lot of things that you can take, caffeine, you know, pills, whatever. But I don't think that there's anything that has come close to completing your exercise regimen, completing a workout, and that feeling right after, how good you feel after a nice workout, is pretty incredible. And not only is it like I feel like a de-stressor, kind of getting your mind off things, helping you forget bad situations you probably had during that day, bad conversations, stuff like that. It really does help you take your mind off things, both while enduring the workout and after. You kind of forget it all. Not to mention you're sweating, you're focusing on what you're supposed to do, right? For like me, what I do is I weightlift, I lift weights, and then I go on a treadmill. I don't run, but I do like an incline walk for like 50 minutes. And I really, I really push myself. I incline it ever so slightly more than when I started. I increased the time more from when I started, and I've been seeing results. Obviously, the weight has come down, and you just feel better. I feel like exercising is 100% good for you. Now, I'm no doctor, but I can tell you that every doctor is probably going to tell you that exercising will improve your day-to-day life and your long-term health drastically if you live life without exercising. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like it's always 100% good for you to exercise. It just is. You feel better. Lifting weights, also impeccable. You got to do it. You got to build muscle. You got to build that strength. The strength is only going to come down the older you get. The only way that you can keep that strength is by working out, by lifting weights, whatever it is, push-ups, sit-ups, squats. You don't even really need to use weights at first. You can use your own body weight. That's what I did for a while. Did some push-ups, lunges, squats, really build up that strength. And then, eventually you could add weights. And it's a really good thing to do. And challenging yourself. And making, setting goals. And then completing those goals. And not giving up. One of the best feelings also, I think, that is when you do a workout, or when you do get on the treadmill, and when you actually feel like, oof, today it's tough. Like today's workout actually felt really tough today. Don't know why, but it felt really, really, really tough. And there was a lot of times, where I was like, you know what, why don't I just take it down a notch? Why don't I just go for 40 minutes. Let's wrap this up. Clearly, like, this workout is, I'm not really feeling it. I kind of just want to go home. I don't want to, I'm actually kind of exhausted, at this point. And I'm like, well, I still work out, I'll get it next time. But I didn't. I decided to keep going and to really push through. It was tough, right? You never want to look at the timer, because I have a timer on my watch and on the treadmill that I use. I hate looking at it, because I always want to count down the time of, how much longer I got before I can get the hell out of here. It's a love-hate relationship. You love it, you hate it. It's good for you, but also it's like a struggle. But I think that's a good thing. Enduring that pain, enduring the fatigue, and completing that workout, always in the end feels good. It never feels bad. That's what you kind of need to also embed into your brain, is like, the ending of the workout is always going to feel good. You're always going to feel better after the workout than before the workout. And like, that's like the feeling that you got to chase. And that's like the feeling that you have to strive for every day, because it's inevitable. It always feels better. It's never going to be like you begin the workout and then you feel like crap after. It's never really like that. Maybe when you first start and you're actually exhausted, but even then, when I first started back up again, the first workout, yeah, it was tough. But then after, it's like, oh my God, I feel better. It's a good thing. It's always a good thing, I feel like. Always push yourself, challenge yourself. It's always a good thing to, set goals. I feel like we kind of need that. I feel like sometimes whatever you do in your life besides working out, whether it be your work, your school, maybe you're not feeling challenged enough in those fields, and you want a challenge, and you want to really feel what it's like to have to endure something and overcome something. And then you decide, you know what, maybe I'm going to bump up my time, or maybe I'll bump up the incline, or bump up the weights, bump up the distance, I don't know, whatever it is, and try your very, very best to overcome those adversities. It makes a person kind of win a few battles, win that battle, win the day. It makes you feel like a winner. And you are a winner when you do that. When you do complete your workout, when you do more than what you've been doing the past few weeks, you accomplish something. You are a winner. You're the victor in that. You've conquered that mission. You've conquered that goal. And you improve. Then you get better. I feel like people need that. I feel like sometimes, I think we might be coming in like a weight loss revolution, because a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of people I see at work, even people at the gym, they've been going and pushing themselves and being consistent, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, because you feel better. You ultimately feel better about yourself. And I know that people like to, some people like to take the easy way out, This doesn't happen in real life, but like people in Hollywood, a lot of people in Hollywood are on Ozempic and stuff like that. And I know it sounds tempting to do it, because all it is a shot and you lose weight. I get it. It's tempting. But those people also, actors, performers, entertainers, they got to be in like impeccable shape like their entire life. There's like not a day where they can be like 10 pounds overweight, 5 pounds overweight, Especially if like you're an actor. What if like a role calls for you to be a bit chunkier? or to be like super ripped. What are you going to do? You're not just going to be like, oh, well, I can't lose the weight because it's going to take too long, you know? Most celebrities, that I know, that I view on social media, that are known for working out, like The Rock, Chris Pratt, they don't really change a whole lot about their appearance, when they sign up for roles. Like Chris Pratt kind of looks like Chris Pratt in every movie he's in, at least his physique. The Rock looks like The Rock in every movie he's in, like I'm saying, his physique. So like that really isn't much of a change. But like, you remember back in the day when Jonah Hill was in like so many movies for like 5 years straight? He was like in almost every other movie that you saw. He had crazy like weight gains and weight loss fluctuations, and I always thought to myself, like, dude, I mean, Jonah Hill, big, fat Jonah Hill was always funny, but so was skinny Jonah Hill. But the way that he was able to fluctuate his weight, in my opinion, was freaking insane. Like, there would be roles that he's in where it's like he could like keel over and die, right? And then other roles where he's like, oh my god, he looks great, looks so much better. I mean, I don't know if like that's all from like diet pills or shots or just like not eating or like strict Hollywood diets, maybe steroids, but like, you get like a different perception or different perspective when all you're comparing your, diet and weight loss to like celebrities. It's a lot different, from regular people to celebrities. Regular people, if you make a good living, if you make a good, have a good job, you can probably, meal plan, go on diets, hire a trainer. These celebrities, like, that is a given. When they get signed up for movies, sign up for these roles, they get trainers, they get meal plans, they get supplements, they get all that stuff. I don't know if they have to pay for it, but it feels like maybe the studio or whoever signed them on gets them, on this regiment and just goes. And they're always striving to be, at that weight to play that role in that movie that they're going to be in. That is, being produced and being looking at as a investment from the studio to, hey, we got to make some money. This movie we think a lot of people are going to like, so you got to play this role in this movie that we think people will like. That way people come and see it, and that way we can make money off of this movie. So your physique, your look is a big component to this movie's success. So you have to lose the weight and look this way for this amount of period of time while we shoot this movie. If we got to do reshoots, you got to stay the same weight in order for this to work as a project, for the business to keep going. So it's a lot of pressure for these guys to, be in shape. I would only imagine that, Chris Pratt, when he was playing Star-Lord in the MCU in Guardians of the Galaxy, like, they're probably like saying like, yo, we know you were a big dude or a bigger guy in Parks and Recreation. We need you to like get absolutely shredded for this role as Star-Lord. Can you do it? He's like, well, I'm broke. I need this job. This is a big moment in my career. Hell yeah, I'm going to do it. I'll shred all these pounds. I'll get shredded. I'll get ripped. And we'll go from there. I feel like it's, it's just like a different atmosphere. It's a different mindset when you go from a regular Joe Schmo like me to like a Hollywood actor, Of course, we all want to, look our best, but it's still a different perspective and a different circumstances of what, health-wise and all that, I don't know. I just thought that, everybody needs or probably could use a little pounds that they could lose. Pretty much everybody in this world probably can. Pretty much. Not everybody. Of course, there's people that, have been blessed with miraculous genes, miraculous metabolisms that allow them to be the certain weight that they've been since, like, I don't know, they were kids. I know a few people that were blessed with great genetics where they can eat almost anything that they, their little hearts desire, and they don't gain a single pound. Like, it's like, what the hell, man? It's just jealousy. Because even when I was younger, man, I could not eat as much. I mean, I could eat as much as they could, but I would just keep that weight. I would store that weight, and that weight has stuck with me for years, man. It's quite painful. Isn't that weird, though? Isn't that crazy how, like, we're so different in our genetic makeup that your metabolism can be so much better than mine, and that's just because of the luck of the draw of the genes and who I was born from. Like, that's crazy. But oh well, doesn't matter. That you just got to work harder. You just got to work harder and be stronger and have the discipline. That's another thing, too. Like, from this entire journey that I've been on, losing some weight, I feel like my discipline has gotten so much better with what I eat and how often I go work out. Like I said, I go like 5 times a week, and I take 2 days off, and I've stuck with that for like months, and I pretty much eat the same lunch every single day, which is a sandwich on Dave's Killer Bread, some trail mix, an apple, some water, and I just, I hate lunch. Like, I really hate it. Like, it's not something that I look forward to at all. I would love to have, like, go get like a burger. Well, actually, I mean, I could eat a burger, and I do, from time to time, but like, I would love to eat like a burger every single day. I would love to eat like a pizza every single day for lunch. I would love to eat like, bad food every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But, the best way for me to stay disciplined is to make lunch, which I eat while I'm at work, and make that like part of the day the really disciplined part. That way I know, like, hey, I'm getting some good food in me. I'm getting some nutrition. I'm staying away from the bad stuff. And I'm eating pretty healthy at that period of the day. Dinner is whatever we make. Like, whatever we make and whatever we decide. And I can live with that. I'm fine with that. But as long as I stay disciplined with my lunch and don't get all crazy and don't just go to McDonald's or go to Jack in the Box, which I don't do, then I think that I'm kind of winning. I'm staying disciplined in that area, which is good because you need discipline in order to accomplish a goal. In this case, for me, it's losing weight. So I think that has, been a cornerstone of my weight loss is making lunches absolutely brutal. Like, I hate my lunch. It's so annoying. It's so, like, just not non-appetizing anymore. Like, I don't care about it anymore. Which I think, is kind of a similar thing to, like why people, like, meal prep for, like, I don't know, weeks, and then they get tired of it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty awful. But I do feel like, though, every once in a while, maybe once every, like, couple weeks, you can get, like, a cheat lunch or not meal prep or not make the same thing and go get something to eat. And that, that in a way, for me at least, kind of, like, it keeps my sanity. Like, how cheat meals are, like, you should have a cheat meal because it keeps you sane and makes it less boring. And if you have that cheat meal like every once in a while, like once a week, then you kind of like reset your discipline. Like you reset like how long you can go by just eating the same old like healthy lunch or same old healthy meal and not feel so like lunch is so boring. Or just like, I don't even want to eat this because I'm bored and I really want to eat something else. Having like a cheat lunch, a cheat meal every so often is key, I think, to like being consistent. You can have a cheat, break the discipline every once in a while, but it's when you like break the discipline and then keep going and not being disciplined, that's when it's a problem. But I feel like with me, when I break the discipline and have like a cheat meal, the next few days, I'm back on it. I'm like, okay, I had my fun. That was good. I enjoyed that, but now back to work. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. Like I said, 209 is what I weigh. I think I can get to 205 by April 23rd, which would be next month. More than a month, I think. So, yeah, more than a month at this point. So I think I could get to that point in weight by that time. And at that point, that would be the 1 year mark, which I began my journey. And that would have accumulated 30 pounds of weight loss within a year. My opinion, that's a little slow. On the slow side, I feel like. But, you know, that's still really good. Like, losing 30 pounds that's really good. I mean, that's no, like, easy feat. But it's, you know, of course I would like to have lost it a lot quicker, but, you know, what can you do? You know, as long as I keep maintaining the discipline and I keep doing it, and I don't see myself stopping. I don't want to see myself stopping, you know, ever, but, like, keep going. You know, eventually I will get to my goal. And who knows, like, maybe I'll get to, like, 200 or 190 and be like, yo, I look pretty good. And maybe call it quits there, you know? Or maybe I won't even get to 185. You know, I don't even want to put that out there. You know, I think I am going to get to 185. I could definitely do that. It's possible. I'll look completely different. And I already kind of do. A lot of people say I look a lot different than what I used to look like, which is good because that was the whole goal. Like, that was the mission. I didn't want to, like, look the same as I did because I look like a fat piece of shit. So that's good. Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Not there yet, but I feel like I'll be there within no time. So moving on to actual news this week. I'm not usually a person that cares at all about the royal family. Like, the royal family, to me, I don't care about. I mean, I know that they're royal. I know that they're famous in England. I know that they're famous in America. I know that people care so much about every person that's involved in the royal family. They're even called the royals by a lot of people. People like, you know, different people in the royal family. Like, there was, when she was alive, Queen Elizabeth fans. There was Prince William fans, Prince Harry fans. I don't even know if he's still in the royal family, but him. When Meghan Markle was in it, there were a lot of her fans. You know, there was Kate Middleton fans. That brings us to the topic that I think I have been most intrigued by, is that this woman, Kate Middleton, gorgeous woman, by the way, like Prince William, you lucky guy. She's quite beautiful in my opinion. Kate Middleton's pretty beautiful. Definitely looks like, you know, royal in my eyes. Like, she could be the queen one day. You know, she could be the queen. And I would be like, well, you know what? All of a sudden, I like the royals. I like the royal family now because I think she's just stunning. She's beautiful. But the story is that this woman has not been seen in a long time. And I haven't done the most investigative research, but this is what I've been hearing. What I've heard is that she had an abdominal surgery. Now, I don't really know what that means. Abdominal surgery. So, like, your abs, maybe her stomach, esophagus. Wait, no, that's your throat. Intestines. Like, what does that even mean? Like, abdominal. That's like your abs, where your tummy is and where your spleen is and where your liver is at, sort of, I think. That's where that is. So maybe she got like some kind of liposuction. I don't know. She looked pretty good before. Anyways, that's the story. She had some kind of abdominal surgery and is recovering. But there's also these other stories that come out where she's either really, really ill and close to death, which I've heard. I've heard that she is not recovering from surgery, but she's in the process of divorcing William. I've heard that as well. I've heard that the recovery is taking longer than expected, which I don't even know if that's even possible. I don't even know what that means either. Like, did they actually, like, rip out her stomach by accident and have not been able to put it back? And are looking, like, for donors, like, hey, can we use your stomach to help Princess Middleton get a stomach? Like, can we extract your stomach to help to put into Princess Middleton because she's royal? I don't know if that's the case either. And then I heard that, because she had like a mental breakdown because apparently William cheated on her, and that's why they're divorcing. And she's like gone deranged, insane. Again, these are all rumors. They're all on X and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Like, they're everywhere, right? I'm just observing. And kind of, viewing it and seeing, like, what could actually be happening? What could actually truthfully be happening to this poor woman who is a mother of 3 kids, probably going to be the, the heirs of England from like in the next century. So obviously this woman is super important to the entire throne in England, and her kids are also important as well. And we don't know what happened to this lady. Nobody knows where she is or what has happened to her. There has been, articles and like announcements that are, being teased, like, hey, she's going to announce something. They're going to say what's happening. There's been like videos circulating of like, this is her, but everyone's saying that this is not her. It looks nothing like her. So, either they're trying to fake it, which is so bizarre. Like, if you really think about it, like an entire country, a royal family's publicist is trying to fake that person is her. And by the way, all these people that are obsessed with the royals and obsessed with her are saying that this is not her at all. Where is she? It only makes it seem like the situation is worser than it actually is. The whole abdominal recovery, surgery recovery, seems like the bottom of the barrel. Like, that most definitely is not what is happening here at all. The fact that they can't release any video and that the pictures that they've been releasing, people are saying are fake and doctored, possibly AI, and obviously fake. Something must be really wrong with this woman, which is a shame because she's such a beautiful woman, right? Yeah, I wouldn't want anything to happen to this woman. Something must be really wrong. Like, either incredibly sick and not able to, make any type of appearance, which does not sound good at all. Like, this is probably not a good time for her or her family. And it kind of is like shocking in a way that you kind of see firsthand how, their publicists are trying to throw you off the scent as best as they can, because they probably know that whatever has actually happened to this woman is really bad. Now, if the rumors are true and William actually cheated on this woman, this poor woman, and it just destroyed her soul, is what it seems like. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, and I don't want to make this inappropriate. But I almost feel like what actually happened probably broke her heart / soul. I don't know if she's recovering from a surgery. I think that Will probably did cheat on her and like totally broke her spirit. Made her like super sad and depressed and, probably made her feel like nothing mattered. And you know how I don't want to bring this bad juju, but you know how when dogs dogs can die of a broken heart, of just being sad. I hope this hasn't happened, but maybe what happened was her heart is actually broken. Like her soul has been crushed and cannot make any public appearance because she just won't get out of bed because whatever probably happened, which is probably, marriage reasons, marital, divorce and, cheating and stuff like that. This seems like it might have been that, for her to not make an appearance. I don't know. I just feel like if somebody's sick like that, if someone's actually sick and that famous, you hear updates about that more often than what we've been given, what has been, shown and what has been presented by the publicists of this person. I mean, when people were sick with, what was the name? Jamie Foxx, right? When Jamie Foxx had a stroke, I think, we got updates on that. Now, not right away, but we were getting updates of his health and stuff like that. Again, that is all also based on his choice to release those updates. But the fact that this woman has been pretty much radio silent for a long time is something very concerning, even to me. Like, I just want to know where this woman's at. Like, I've seen videos of her, like, speaking to, like, people and stuff like that. She seems like a very nice woman. And it's just like, wow, what happened? It's just, it all comes down to the shadiness of what the information we know is and what it's kind of spinning towards. And the fact that they know that it's spinning towards this, and we're still not getting really any concrete confirmation that it's this or that, is fishy. And it makes you kind of think, like, oh, whoa, what has happened to this woman? Hopefully nothing bad, I've heard, like, not only what I mentioned, but I've heard, I've also heard, like, she might be dead. Like, what? Like, what is happening? Like, what is actually happening here? It has left me puzzled and intrigued to where I cannot believe that I actually care about this woman this much. It's insane. Never in, like, all these years would I think that I would actually care about the royal family and Kate Middleton this much than right now. It's so bizarre that I'm even left puzzled of why I'm talking about this. And the more I talk about it, the more I think that, whoa, this probably happens, more often than I think. Of, like, celebrities and all that, famous people, what they could be going through, what it does to someone, all that pressure of her being like the next queen possibly, her family, she has to have like an intact family, and whatever happened, maybe it is health reasons, right? Maybe she did have a bad surgery and is like now on her deathbed because they messed up and something, something happened, right? That's a bad thing. But I do think that they would have said something like that and reported that if that was actually true, head on, to let people know, like, oh shoot, she might be on our way out. We gotta send our prayers and thoughts, Instead, we have nothing but confusion and more questions than we do answers. So, I don't know. Something that, I never thought that I would ever talk about, but has caught my attention, and I do not know what to make of it. All I know is something fishy's going on. Something that they don't want to let out. They don't want to say what really is happening. And I think that if it's as bad as I think it is, they would have. If it wasn't as bad as what I think it could be, they would have said it by now. But the fact that they haven't said anything really that matters, anything that has any merit to it, kind of makes me think it's even worse than I could even imagine. Oof. You know, AI is everywhere. Everywhere you look, AI is being advertised like nothing that I've ever seen before. It started, I believe, last year when ChatGPT emerged and people were using it on the internet and using it and asking it questions, asking them for answers. What is this? What is that? Write me this. Figure this out. Create this. Do this. And that was the first of AI that I've seen really kind of taking off. Now in 2024, we have new devices like phones, apps, and companies introducing their own form of artificial intelligence. The Galaxy 24 has its own special designed AI to help with, anything that you want. Ask it questions. What is this? Circle this. Can you tell me what this is? Where is this from? Now, Microsoft has their own. It's called Copilot. And it's an app that you can download. Google has its own as well. And it seems like AI is just being thrown at us. Thrown at us from all these companies. Here it is. Here's the new AI. Here's AI that is now from us and from them and from them over there. Now they have their own AI. Now they have their own artificial intelligence. It can now be almost accessed anywhere. And it's, causing people to be scared, rightfully so. People to worry. Artificial intelligence is always the doomsday device, the doomsday tool that backfires in so many science fiction films and series, books, whatever you have. It seems to be the thing that dooms humanity. Happens in Terminator. Most famously, artificial intelligence has always been not a good thing. It's crept into entertainment. I mentioned, I think, in this podcast, when Secret Invasion was coming out, the whole title sequence was generated by AI. Totally, just not employing an artist to make that. It was all by AI. It's kind of scary. It's weird. There's the whole thing about the strikes, right? Because people want to work. They don't want these studios to just have AI to make their movies, write their movies, use AI to put in extras in movies, putting people out of work, without a job. The artists were going to be left on the street. Movies were trying very, very hard this past year to not have people in them or involved in them. So AI is totally real, and it's totally something that I think that can have a horrible impact on humanity itself. But I see hope in this. Everybody's trying to push their own AI. Everybody's trying to push their own service. Like I said, the one on the Galaxy phones, Google, Microsoft, ChatGPT. People are trying to push it. The companies are trying to push AI very, very hard. But I don't really think it's going to catch on And I don't think that people are going to use it as much as the companies want you to. I really don't think so. And I'll tell you why. While it's a threat still, I don't think that it will happen. Because we, as a species, we like new things. We do. We enjoy new things, new technologies. But as soon as a technology oversteps its boundaries and makes something a little bit less human, we tend to begin to ignore it. We tend to not fully grasp it, and it kind of fades away. And this is my example. When I want to say like maybe 2013 or 14, whenever the iPhone 4 or 4S came out, launched Siri. I gotta make sure I don't say it too much because I'll probably, activate. But when they launched it, people were using it left and right. People were using it through everything, for text messages, through to send photos, to look things up, ask it a fun little question, tell me a joke. They would be using Siri for everything that they could think of. Every single thing that they could think of, they would use it. Launch this app. Watch this. Look this up. What is 2 plus 2? Asking it so many things that were new for us. We had never really had something like that was that quick and that responsive. And we ate it up. And for the next couple generations, I remember, because I'm a loyal iPhone user, up until the 5, 6, and then when I got my, I was using Siri up until those generations. But when I got to my 10, my iPhone XS, I never used it. I pretty much stopped using it. I didn't want to keep using it. And now to this day, I haven't used it at all. Because I don't like using it. I feel like it was a cool thing that it was introduced. It made you feel like you were in the future. It made you feel like, a technological leap was here, that we got something new, that it was beneficial. It made things easier. It made things hands-free. And it was something that was, at the time, revolutionary. But I can't tell you how many times where I can do things so much quicker using Siri that I don't want to use anymore, that I don't even care about doing anymore. I could easily say, hey, send this message to this person. I don't care anymore. I would rather pull up their contact, tap on them, send message, type out the message, and then hit send. Because I think that using Siri is less human. And I feel like when things come out and they feel less human, we tend to drift away from that and go back to the things that make us more human, that don't really, that don't take away our humanity. It's kind of like, it's a weird thought. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I do feel like because AI at the moment is a new thing. It's a new thing that's being pushed heavily everywhere from every company. I do feel like we, in a way, like to go back in time. we in a way like to be very nostalgic. We like to advance technologically, but we don't like to fully give up the things that made us, that make us who we are. And I feel like the generations prior, the things that we made, the materialistic things that we possess, like actual physical movies, physical music, physical games, things we can see and touch and use. Those things, for some reason, have not truly gone away from us wanting them. And I feel like with AI, hey, write me an essay, or read me a book, or tell me what this is about. I think that will not catch on, and that will not stick around. I truly don't think it will, because I feel like, in a way, we want to do those tasks, and we don't want someone to do it for us. We are very selfish. We don't want anything to tell us what to do, or do it for us. Even though we can be lazy, even though we could be, pressed for time. I do think that, in a way, people revert back to things that they feel more connected to, in a way. And I think that artificial intelligence is one thing that will totally disconnect us from each other, and that we will not like that. Therefore, we won't use it. So, as much as it seems very scary that AI can totally destroy humanity, like it's done in so many different, entertainment pieces, movies and TV, right? I think as long as we don't use it as a people, if we don't use it, there's no reason for them to keep funding it. And there's no reason for them to make it better if we don't use it. I have not wanted to use any AI. I don't know really many people that want to use AI, that have tried to use AI. I don't see it really catching on right now. I don't. I think that it makes us less human, and I feel like we are in a time where I feel like being human is what a lot of people are striving for right now. Seeing and touching, going outside. COVID really kind of bottled us up, right? It made us have to be individualist, being away from people, being away from things. That whole 2 years really did a number on people's minds, interactions. And now that it's over and we're fully back, we've been fully back for a while, but of course there was a lot of people that were still scared. But I feel like now that we're fully back, I think that is not going to catch on. It's in a way where you see all these streaming services where they tried to, pump out as much entertainment as possible and make so many different movies and shows on streaming only. And now that, now that we're all out of the house and no one is indoors to watch those, they've had to raise their prices because no one's watching their shit, because no one is at home anymore. No one is just sitting at home, locked in, and forced to watch this for their entertainment. They're doing things now. They're outside. They're going to see actual films in theaters, going to actually do things outside. They've had to pivot because they thought that this was going to be the way of the future, that people will just stay inside and watch Stranger Things all day long. Well, that isn't true, because watching Stranger Things all day with no human contact does not make us human. Making us being human is going out and getting involved with other people away from screens, away from technology, Hey, it's so basic, right? Hey, we used to do this all the time. We used to go out and hang out with people all the time. We weren't connected to screens. We weren't always watching TV. We were outside. We were at bars, at restaurants, at, events, doing things with other people, watching actual live music, going to see a movie in the theater, doing actual things that, we did as a community with other people. You can't just hope and pray that we'll stay inside forever and never leave, and we will have to rely on Netflix, rely on DoorDash, rely on Amazon to give us all our stuff, and we'll never leave the house ever. I think that AI was kind of pushed in a way where all these other companies were like, well, all they're going to do is just sit on their ass and do nothing and order DoorDash and watch Netflix. And AI companies are like, hey, well, we can just make it so like you don't have to do anything ever again. You don't have to think. You can just say you want this and we'll make it for you. You want an essay about this, about World War II? Here you go. You don't have to research it. You don't got to go to the library. You don't got to talk to nobody about it. You don't got to rent a book or something like that. We'll just put it all here for you. That way this AI program just, goes throughout the entire internet database and finds something and makes it so you don't have to do anything. Again, that makes us less human. And I think that we are in a time where staying human, being with people, is really sought out for. People really want that right now. We've never been more connected, I think, and also disconnected right now. It's true. I think that at this moment, like we as a humanity, even though we have problems, even though we have differences, are thriving with interaction. I do think that. I really do think that. And it's showing. It really is showing. People want to do things that, in a way, are going back to ways that we used to hang out back in the day. I mean, just buying physical media is one thing that has to be killing these companies, that they're not just streaming their music on these platforms. The fact that Disney Plus is putting out their series on Blu-ray now. They're available on Disney Plus. You can watch it whenever you want. But they have no money, so they are now being forced to sell them physically to make a profit. Because why? Because we stopped watching their stuff. We stopped being so inside and cooped up, and we went out and did things. Made ourselves more human than ever before. In a long time, at least. In a very, very long time. And I think it's something that should not be overlooked. And that's why I think that AI probably, it might just not be for us. AI is not for humans. And as much as, in these movies and entertainment where AI takes over the world, those are, at the end of the day, they're just movies. They're fiction. They're not real. Real life people don't really care about that. They won't use it. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel human. It doesn't feel like it doesn't belong with us. And again, I think if people don't use AI, which I don't know many people who do, it won't continue. It will not continue. And at least in the way that we use it day to day. Other people, companies might use it for like things that, are inhumane, stuff like that, or illegal. But the majority of people like me and you are probably not going to end up using AI. It's probably going to fail in that capacity. From like in the standpoint of me or you using AI to our benefit, it's probably not going to reach that point. It's just probably not. It's such a disconnect from who we are. And I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it'll stay. I really hope that I'm right about that, because wouldn't that suck if all we did was talk to artificial intelligence and not say a word to anybody else? I think that would be horrible. Last thing, I'll keep it short, but I finally started to play Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It's a third-person action-adventure game where you play as a Jedi between the period of Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I gotta say, I was a big fan of Fallen Order. I really, really loved it. I love Survivor even more. Fallen Order was like a not so open world game, kind of limited of where you can go in terms of like how far out you can go in these planets and stuff like that, but still pretty good in my opinion. I'm only about 11 hours into Survivor, but already I can feel like they just leaped over what Fallen Order did in terms of story, gameplay, world building, world exploration, world mechanics. Like everything in this game, in Survivor, is so much better than in Fallen Order. I could not believe it. I heard that it was really good, that it was a massive improvement, but I hadn't played it. And I started to play it, and I'm like, oh my god, like this game is amazing. Like, it is one of the better games that I played in the past, like, 5 years. Like, God of War and God of War Ragnarok are probably the best games I've played in the last, like, 5 years, like I said. And then Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. And then Fallen Order. Like, Fallen Order, or Survivor, actually. Survivor is really, it's great. Like, it's so amazing. Like, how good this game is. Story is awesome. Characters are awesome. Gameplay, world exploring, like, it's so much better. It's really awesome. Like, I'm only like 11 hours in, but I cannot not tell you how good this game is. If you've been on the fence about it, if you liked the first one but weren't the biggest fan, dude, Survivor is where it's at. Like, that, this game is so far amazing, in my opinion. All right, that's going to be it for me today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.